Hey, welcome everyone, and thanks for joining this webinar on converting more leads through an optimized website. We have a lot of great content. I'm really excited about sharing it with you. All right, so some items we're going to cover. Why it's so important to have a website that converts. Too many websites out there are just like, cool, we have a website and it represents us, but there's not enough thought process to convert visitors into leads. So we're going to explain how to do that. I'm going to cover 13 really important topics. And I got to tell you, I find websites all the time that are not optimized for conversions. So I think it's going to be really enlightening. We're going to look at a customer avatar and some things to consider with that, and a whole bunch of more stuff. So really excited. Because I think this is an awesome topic, and because we're all driven to distraction and we have so many different ways to be contacted, it'd be a great time just to set your cell phones down and turn Facebook and all the other devices that we have just to kind of focus in here. I am sure you're going to find something that's going to help contribute to get more leads. And everyone is wanting more leads. Leads are so expensive today that you want to get as many leads as you can. So here we go. Let's dive in. But before we do, a little background on me. If you're wondering, like, okay, who are you and how do you speak to this topic? I've been in basic waterproofing for I think 28 years now. I owned a waterproofing company for 15 years. For 12 or 13 years or so, have owned and run Rainmaker for Contractors, which is an agency, a digital marketing agency that specializes in lead generation for waterproofers and foundation repair contractors. We've won several awards from Google. They've flown me out there 3 different times. Wrote a book on this industry. If you type in basement waterproofing, internet marketing, we should be the first listing. The book is on Amazon. Have a podcast. It's really resourceful. People give us great feedback on that. And I am currently the president of the Basement Health Association. So I'm pretty familiar with the industry, both from internet marketing as well as basement waterproofing and foundation repair. So the problem, what is the problem that we're talking about? Marketing is so expensive. And to grow your company, you've got to spend money into marketing. Everyone knows that. You can't just have a waterproofing company and only have your Google listing and expect to grow. Of course, you're going to get some leads just from that, and especially if you start getting reviews. But if you want to grow your company and make more money, you have to invest into marketing, and it costs a lot of money. And it seems like there's almost never enough leads. The only time there's enough leads is when we get lots and lots of rain, and that can last for 4 to 6 weeks, but we don't always get those rains, and we all know there's 12 months in the year, and so we're trying to create leads that will last throughout the whole year. Another big issue with those marketing dollars is when you get a low return on investment. Let's take, for example, Angie. Some people will say, I'm putting all this money into Angie. I get these bogus leads. Or I was talking to someone yesterday afternoon. They said, we had canceled Angie because how can we always be the 4th contractor to contact these people? And the customers often say we've already went with someone. Lots of things. And so they got a low return on investment. Andy has changed some things, and I told him, that could happen because they're trying to sell that lead, but you have to be working on your business and you have to be looking at the numbers. Let's take, what's another lead source? Let's look at internet marketing. Let's say you don't have a website that's converted for optimization, and you're driving traffic to your website and it's just not converting. And you're saying hey, I'm spending all this money on, let's say, Google ads or Facebook ads, and you're not getting a return. That's hard. It's hard. Everything in your funnel needs to be optimized. Otherwise, you're just literally just donating money to Google and Facebook, and they don't mind. They're not going to tell you your website's not optimized. So then what happens? You get no leads or low leads. You have no backlog. You have no peace of mind. You're just kind of scrambling, just trying to make ends meet. You're looking at the schedule. You're like, all right, I'm good for this week, but man, I got to sell something. I got to get something on the books here. Not enough leads means you can't grow your business, but it means so much more than that. You have employees that you've invested into. You really, really like the employees. You want them to stick around. They're like family to you. But if you don't have a backlog, you can't keep them employed. So all that to say, this topic is really how to optimize your website to maximize your lead flow. Your website, I'll touch on this very shortly. It's really the hub of all your lead sources, all of them. They all kind of go to your website. So it really needs to be optimized for lead conversion. So consistently converting leads. When I was on the other side of the desk, so to speak, a basement waterproofing contractor, I had several salespeople trying to sell me their stuff. And sometimes I'd buy it. And sometimes they would tell me, look at all the web visitors that we're getting for you. And look how we've increased the time on site when you get a visitors. It used to be 30 seconds. Now it's a minute and 5 seconds that they're hanging out. And all that stuff is just so not relevant, because I always said, I need my phone to ring. I need web forms. I've got to put sales reps in front of qualified homeowners that want our services. I don't care about anything else. And that's how you're measuring your return on investment. So leads equals sales equals backlog. You could have a growing business. You could have peace of mind, sleep at nighttime, where you're not just constantly wondering, where can I get that next job? You could create momentum. You can create consistent growth. You can invest in employees. You can promote people to management, so on. We all want the phone ringing. We want sales reps running leads. We want a bigger backlog, and we want a business that's growing. So as I mentioned, in the center of your whole business is your website, and you really need a great website to convert visitors into leads. Now, this slide here, I just want to walk you through it. It's a really powerful slide, and I think it says a lot. And it's pretty realistic. So in scenario one, the example that I'm using is 1,500 visitors per month, which I think is about average. Some are going to have more, some are going to have less. We know this business is a little bit seasonal. So, but let's go with the number 1,500. So if you get 1,500 visitors and you convert 5 visitors into leads, or some people call them sits or demos, where you can actually go out to a home and do a presentation, you would end up with 75 sits, presentations, demos, whatever you want to call them. And if you close, excuse me, like 25%, you're going to end up with 19 jobs. Now, if your average sale is $10,000, for some it's going to be more, for some it's going to be less. If you average $10,000 on your average job, you're going to end up with $190,000 for that month. For some people, they would say, like, I'd be super happy with that. That's great. And others would be like, no, like, I need to be bigger and better. Regardless. So that's scenario one, with the only number that I'm really talking about is a 5% conversion. There's a couple other assumptions on the other formula. And I'm transferring all it over, and the only number that I'm changing is now a 9% conversion with the same number of visitors. So 1,500 visitors. Now you're converting 9% of those visitors into a sit, a presentation, a demo. Still closing at 25%, which I think is super realistic. And that ends up with 34 jobs sold. Same average job size, $10,000. Now you leave in that month with $340,000. I did not improve sales. Sales reps didn't get any better. They're closing at 25%, very respectable. The only thing that changed here in this formula is the conversion rate from the website, from making a visitor into taking it all the way to a presentation. Yes, there's a couple details in there, like, are you answering the phone? How fast do you book the lead? Are these qualified leads? All those kind of things. In this formula, the only number that I'm playing with is the conversion rate. And that's just a tremendous difference. It's just huge. 340,000 in a month versus 190. Do that on a regular basis, and that's a totally different business, all from a website that converts more effectively. So why is getting your website built to convert important to you? Well, it's the center of your business. It means everything. So how do we do that? How do we optimize a website? Let's take a look at 13 critical, super important elements. First, you really need to speak to your target customer. And we're going to unpack this later on. We're going to explore their goals, aspirations, fears, frustrations, and so on. And I want to be able to position you to be able to see your own website and to answer those questions. Am I speaking to their fears, to their desires, and so on? And then, are you answering the question, why should they choose you? I think one of the most effective things that I've helped basement waterproofing and foundation repair contractors to think through is when I get them on the phone on a Zoom call and I'm able to say, like, hey, if you didn't know anything about foundation repair, basement waterproofing, you had no referrals, you just go into the internet, what would you do? And they would say, well, I type in basement waterproofing, and then, okay, and then who would you pick? Based on your buying habits, who would you pick? And they usually say, like, well, I'd maybe pick this one. They have a lot of reviews, and okay, all right, let's go to their website. What do you see on their website that you like? And we go through a website and, okay, let's pick someone else. What do you like about this company? What do you see? What's speaking to you? And when they're able to do that, then they realize, oh, dang, so I'm not even really communicating well with my potential customers. And that's kind of some lights go on. I actually was doing that with someone else that had contacted me, and we're going through Zoom, and I was showing them these things. Oddly enough, the person was telling me some amazing stories about his company, about how inspectors show up on his job and they go, oh, that guy's doing it. I don't even need to look at the job. And the quality of work and craftsmanship is there with the company, but you would never know that on the website. It's just not being communicated. What gets communicated on that website that I looked at was, we're a waterproofing company. We're one of the 20 you should consider, and that's it. So why should they choose you? Third one is really important. Use authentic images. Avoid those stock images. Avoid the guy with the perfect teeth and a big smile wearing a yellow construction hat and big jawline. Like, that's not who's working at their home, and they know that. And I think we're just drawn more to authentic images, even if they're not perfect. So really try to get real pictures on your website and in your Google listing. All right, so if you didn't know, this video is just huge. People are absorbing video at crazy amount of rates. Our brains try to be a little bit lazy. So if it doesn't have to engage, it won't. And taking in a video doesn't take as much brain energy. We're sort of walk through everything. We don't need to think much, and we just process so much more efficiently through video. So I would encourage you to get a welcome video on your website. They could see who you are, why you're there, what you love about your company, how you're trying to serve your customers, what's unique about you. Make it short, maybe a minute, 45 seconds, something like that. And you could even put a video on your services pages. Typically with a website, you're going to have a basement waterproofing page. You'll have a foundation repair page. You might have an egress window page. You might have something about indoor air quality or something. And you could put a video on each one of those pages. And you don't need to hire a big video production company. These smartphones here are they always convert better than you hiring a company. The only thing you should really be concerned about is the audio and the lighting. Those are the two biggest things. And of course, put someone with a shirt on, have them speak clearly, but it's going to be real. It's going to be authentic, and people are going to know that. And avoid being the Wizard of Oz. Allow people to see what's behind the curtain, but make it good, make it presentable. But these smartphones, that's all you need to make a video. It doesn't have to be perfect. And again, these smartphone videos convert better than the clean, polished. The clean, overly polished videos sometimes can look like that model that was hired to hold a clipboard and has a yellow construction hat on. So I want to encourage you to make videos, put them on your website. And this is a great one, a video explaining why your company is different. And I would encourage you to do that without slamming another company. I don't believe in criticizing other companies, but explain why you're different and how you're special and what you take pride in. It's going to help you convert more visitors. All right, everyone has reviews. Some companies have better reviews than others, but put those on the homepage. Now, reviews are more believable when they're on a Google listing or some other place that you cannot control. I think everyone knows now that reviews on your website can be controlled. I'd still encourage you to put those reviews on your homepage. And there's little things that you could do to make those reviews more effective. If you add the 5 yellow stars, that's going to make it pop a little bit more. If you add the person's picture from their Google profile who posted that review, that's going to make it more credible as well. If you could add the town of where that job was done, that's going to be another level of credibility. All these little things add up. All right, number 6. So get the basics in order. And I got to tell you, I come across websites all the time that just don't have the basics in order. So I do like the phone number on the top right-hand side, big and bold. I think that's the number one spot where customers expect to see your number. Don't play hide and seek and make them work for it. And you have to go to the contact us page and then you have to go to the bottom. Just make it easy. Make a web form really accessible. I like to have them on every single page on the right-hand side. I like them on the home page. I often like them on the home page above the fold. That phrase fold comes from, if anyone remembers what a newspaper is in today's world, the front page before it's folded, it's that top part. That's what a website is. When you land on the website, that's the fold. So when you have that phone number there and the web form, those are good things. I was talking to a prospect, actually, someone considering our services a couple months ago, and there was no web form anywhere. And I said, hey, are you aware there's no web form on this? You're going to get more leads if you had a web form, because most everyone has a web form, right? He said, oh yeah, we used to have a web form. We used to get a lot of spam, and I got sick of it. If they want to contact us, they should call us. And believe it or not, this person would prefer texting. And he said to me, you'd be shocked at how many people want texting. And I said, well, yeah, if you're like almost forcing people to text, sure, they're going to text you, but you're limiting yourself. So to me, these, and I'll mention live chat on the next slide, but it's sort of like fishing. If you were to go on a rowboat and you had one pole and you're sitting there with one kind of bait, you have a chance at catching a fish. But if you have like 10 different poles or even 5 different poles with different kind of hooks and different kind of bait, different areas of the boat, it's like you're increasing your chances of getting a fish. You're widening your net. You do have some people, especially the younger generation, that would much prefer to text. They don't want to talk to anybody. And if you could pull them into your web funnel through that, then do it. Some people want, they're at work, and so they can't talk right now, but they want you to contact them. So they're going to give the information on the web form, or it might be a Sunday. And other people are just going to call you straight up. This next one is add credibility with authority symbols, Basement Health Association, Better Business Bureau, Angie List. Any kind of awards, should be Angie Leads, any kind of awards that you can put on your website, you need to do it because people trust those third-party sources. So as you look at your website, go through your website and see, is there any other awards that we've won that we can add to the website? And don't, bury it on the very, very, very bottom and make it hard to find. Like, be proud of that thing. Like, put it up there. Let people see it. ensure you have clear calls to action. What I want to say to this, what a call to action is, like call today for inspection, call now, those little things. What I'd say is there's not, there's almost never like a magic wand in internet marketing. And what I mean by that is it's rare, for example, for someone to come to us and we say like, oh, I know why you're not getting leads. We can triple your lead flow with just this one magic wand. All you need to do is, fill in the blank. It's usually not that. It's usually, 100. Sometimes I say it's 1,000 little things. And it's these little things that add up. And when I first got into this business and I was having to do that because I paid a lot of money to get into a program to learn this stuff, like 14 years ago, I honestly, I didn't believe it. I said, I'll do this stuff, but I feel like this isn't going to go anywhere. And I just kept doing it and kept doing it. And it was literally just like a sailboat, just getting out there, and it started picking up wind. And before I knew it, I was way out in the middle of the ocean. And there's these little things that add up. So this is just another little thing. So make sure you have the calls to action on your phone number. All right. So special offers and coupons. You might not be a coupon person. In fact, you're probably not. But there are people that just love coupons. And it's sort of like a fire sale. They see a coupon, they're like, oh, I'm taking advantage of that. I can save some money. So come up with a coupon, put it on your website, make some kind of special offer. Everyone wants a deal. I trained many sales reps in the past, and you get into that like, oh, you're going to offer me a lower price kind of a thing. You get into that closing scenario. One kind of common comeback for that is, you could ask them pretty much anything that they purchased in their house. And then, how about this couch or this TV? Let me ask you, was that on sale? Well, yeah, it actually was. Was your couch on sale? Yeah, it was. You ever go to Kohl's? You ever notice different prices? Yeah, pretty much everything is on sale. People love things on sale. So make that available to them. All right, here's a big one. So commonly overlooked, tremendously overlooked. Try to get into the habit of checking your website on a mobile phone. Probably 50 to 70% of the traffic going to your website is going to your mobile phone. So you really need that mobile version to look great. And I'll show you an example in a little bit, but definitely you want that click to call feature where it just makes it super easy. And I know, so because I check this, sometimes I'm looking at a website and I'm like, I'm not sure if click to call is on here. It's like, let me try this out. So, I press the phone number. It's like, oh, okay, it's switched over and now I can hit, call the number. But I wouldn't necessarily know that unless maybe because I'm an insider in the business. But I like it to be more obvious. And I'll show you an example of that. But just make sure that if someone goes to your mobile version, it's going to be super easy to make a phone call. I was on a website yesterday where they had the menu on a mobile phone where you see the 3 lines and you hit that and it jumps down. So, and I was on a Zoom call and I hit the menu button and a box opened, but there's nothing to choose from. So I was like, hey, have you looked at this? Your menu is not working. It's like, yeah, I know that. Okay. It's probably the way they're talking to us. All right, number 10, leverage live chat. So having walked contractors through live chat, usually the concern is, one, can you turn it off? Like, we don't want people, this is how our brains work, right? We're like, oh no, worst case scenario, they're live chatting in the middle of the night and no one's there, or an employee forgot to turn it off. How it works is your scheduling person, when they log in, they turn it on, and when they leave, they turn it off, and then it won't show up on the website. It's not going to pop up and say, can I help you? And then, sure, I'm interested in inspection, and then no one responds, and they're like, forget that company. It doesn't happen. It could only happen if you leave it on. But live chat is a great way to just have another line in the water. People like to do chat, and better yet, You could set it up so that you capture their cell phone number. So in marketing, the key to contacting people is getting their cell phone number. So you could just chat through their cell phone. Just a few more here. Give clients the option to book online. So the advantage to that is people can just look at their calendar. They don't need to talk to anyone. So they think at this stage, they could book a date and a time. They can answer a couple questions. And there's a psychological thing that happens when someone books an appointment online. They're kind of like, cool, it's done. Where's my list? I'm going to cross that one off. Booked an appointment for a waterproofing company to come out. A common concern here is, oh, it's going to wreck the schedule. Someone's going to not show up. They're going to leave a negative review. What people do, and there's a lot of waterproofers and foundation repair contractors and just about any home improvement contractor, they're doing schedule online. What they're doing is they're scheduling out enough, just a few days, and the scheduling person is calling just to confirm, to make sure it's real. And a lot of companies out there, they do need both homeowners to be at home before they send a rep to sit around all day, drive an hour to a home, and wow, that was a lot of information. Can you come back another day and explain this to my spouse? So they're having the person in the office call the appointment, clean it up, make sure it's real, qualify it, make sure it's a real problem. It's not an over-the-top leaky pipe, hot water tank, or something like that. It's legit. They get the time and date, get the homeowners there, and then it gets confirmed or it got moved to another time that's going to be convenient. So that's like what do we have? We have phone calls, we have web forms, we have live chat, and now we have calendars. So 4 different lines in the water. If you go back to that fishing analogy, it's who's going to catch more fish? The person with 1 pole or the person with 4 poles? We know the answer to that. All right, this is one that I find all the time, and I'll show you an example in a little bit, but web speed really, really matters. Loading time. There's clear stats that the longer someone has to wait, that more chance they're just going to leave, partly because it seems like everyone has ADD in today's world, and partly because people just get frustrated. Like, what site are you going to hang out on more? The site that gives you a lot of information in a very short amount of time, or the site that you kind of have to work and wait? And is it going to load? All right, I'll give it a couple more seconds. Forget this, and then they leave. So you want a fast loading website. Desktop will always load faster than mobile, so it's really important to check your mobile version. And then engage in marketing automation. There's a lot of things you could do. Like, for example, what we offer to our customers at no charge is if a call gets missed during office hours, we send a notification out to whoever they want. It could be a text and or email. It could be to multiple people, but that way you're not missing phone calls. For smaller companies, on occasion, the owner, gets stuck answering the phone. Maybe they're running an appointment. We could send them a notification. It's really important that you have someone answering your phone all the time. So use marketing automation. Another way to do this is whenever anyone fills out a web form, or even a phone call comes in, they automatically get a text and an email saying, like, thanks so much for contacting us. For future reference, here's our phone number. We know when a customer contacts you, a certain percentage of those phone calls will be rescheduled. There'll be an additional phone call for whatever reason. And if you could avoid them going to your Google ad account to click your ad again, that's going to also save you money. It's also great to get your phone number into their phone, because if maybe it's not there, but they could scroll through and say, let's see, I called them like Tuesday morning. Okay. And then they can find the record. Here's that person's text. Oh yeah, here's their phone number. There's the company, because I had forgotten the name. So now they have the name and the phone number. So that's another way to use marketing automation. There's a lot of different ways to use marketing automation, but our world's changing. We're becoming more tech savvy and smarter, and we need to move with the times. So yes, having a website optimized for conversions is absolutely critical. Let me show you some examples. Here's some things that I like about this website. Phone number, on the top right, clear call to action, call today for a free consultation. Web form right here. Notice that it's very simple. Notice that there's 2 phone numbers. There's not 20 questions here. We have live chat. We have the smiling family in a basement. What's their end game? Happy, smiling family, peace of mind, clean, healthy basement. Good. Now I'm only showing you like above the fold, but that's a lot of stuff going on in just above the fold. The other thing I'll point out is just their name, Ohio State. It's twice here at least. And it tells them, all right, at least they're in the right area. And this company happens to be super branded. They've been advertising for over 30 years and spending a lot of money doing it. So pretty much everyone in their area would recognize that company. Here's another website, call to action, phone number in the top right. Here's use of a video. There's a strategy behind this video and why they're showing a truck. Web form right here. Again, very simple, not a lot of questions. And then their phone number's big and strong right in the middle. I do like the social media icons kind of out of the way and to the left. Sometimes people like bury them around the number, and I don't think that's necessary. I think it just creates a busy website. So there is, if you go to Rainmaker for Contractors, on our resource page, we do have a free downloadable little page that's going to cover all the different ways to make your website convertible. So feel free to take advantage of that. So this is a line, if you could see your customer through their eyes, then you can sell them what they buy. So I want to encourage you to really, as you look at your website and as you look at who should they pick, try to figure out how they're seeing your company online. A lot of people I work with, like they have amazing companies, but they tend to not be great at communicating who they are on their website. Let's take a look at who your customer is and what their pains are and fears and goals and dreams and aspirations. So demographically speaking, this is probably a fair assessment for any foundation repair and waterproofer that's looking for leads. So yes, you want a homeowner, renters and condos and so on. Yes, it's possible to sell one, but generally speaking, everyone I work with would prefer a homeowner. Typically people that's 19 or 22 or something, they typically don't own a home. So let's say 35 years and older, and that does vary in markets. So the less expensive market, you're going to find younger people owning a home. Typically, if the female is setting up the appointment, not always. We do have some gender stereotypical behavior. We get pizza on Sunday nights. I don't know why, when the place is backed up, like we go to Illuminati's, live in Chicago, go figure, right? There could be like 10 people in there on a Sunday evening kind of waiting for their pizza. There might be one female. And we've been doing this for years, and I've studied this. And so there's certain things that men do and women do. I tend to think, based on my stats and my experience, it's usually the female that's initiating. Absolutely, there's lots of exceptions to that. Married with a couple kids, that's an ideal scenario. A lot of times people want to make a playroom down in the basement. When you walk into a home and you look to the right and you see the living room and there's a bunch of toys there, like that's gold. Like you already know exactly what's going on. Have household 65,000 annual income. That's great because now it's going to be easier to qualify for a loan. Family oriented is ideal. They're reliable. They get easily frustrated, likes to please people. I think everyone would agree with this. The standards for customer service and even the customer experience with the company have just been raised. Like they're higher. And so it forces us contractors to really be on our game, really be organized, to train our employees to know how to interact with customers. And that's kind of, that's who we're after out there. They're typically not super handy. They like those home kind of things, gardening, crafts, and so on, live in the suburbs, middle class, maybe middle upper class, takes an interest in their community. So keep this in mind. Does your website speak to that person? Pains and frustrations, sick and tired of the foundation not working, doesn't know the right way to fix it. All the reason why during your inspection you want to walk them through and educate them. Hey, here's different ways to fix it. What makes the most sense for you? There's concerns about health issues with the basement, especially things like mold and bugs. There's ongoing issues with every single rainfall. Too busy to deal with it, worried about family's health. Every time they go on vacation, they're wondering, I hope it doesn't rain. They're checking the weather app. Is it going to rain heavy? Better not. We better have someone that can check on the house. As if you want to ask a neighbor to clean up their flooded basement. That doesn't work either. So it's a big concern. And then everyone has valuables in the basement they want to protect. So, does your website kind of fluff these pains and concerns? Good question to ask yourself. All right, we know people's fears. They don't want to get ripped off, pay too much, get things damaged in their home. That's why they're always looking at there's reviews. Who's got the best reviews? We don't want some shoddy contractor coming in with 3.2 rating on Google and nightmare reviews. Like, no one's going to call that company when there's 5 other choices that have a 4.8 or higher. Contractors are notorious for being late for appointments. So it's always a concern. It's part of the reason why these jobs get put off. So it could be a disaster. Goals. What do they want? They want a fixed problem. They want that issue behind them, a well-kept home. They want to be able to entertain and not be embarrassed about a leaky basement. Just have the peace of mind to be able to, travel and not worry about the house, and especially have the kids to be able to play in the basement, or to put a home office in and have it be a healthy space, or put a little workout room in the basement. You don't want to be breathing all that air, especially if it's unhealthy in the basement. So that's I kind of just walked you through a quick avatar of what, kind of like who we're after, to kind of get your phone to ring, to get that live chat, the web forms to be filled out. So does your website talk to these people? All right, so messaging that works really well. Like, I shared an example. I was talking to someone yesterday. Oh, and I could also say, I get internet marketing websites sent to me sometimes, like, hey, can you evaluate my website? And I did yesterday. And this person was in restaurant, like serving restaurants with internet marketing. And to me, like, the first line was something like, be found online. And I was like, be found online. I think everyone could be found online. Like, it wasn't compelling. And this person specialized in servicing restaurants, so they had a lot of expertise in this. And so being found online to me was like just noise, like zero impact. That was just the beginning. But anyway, here's messaging that does work, that does relate to contractors. So unbeatable lifetime warranties. It's a little bit vague and ambiguous. There may or may not be someone in your industry with a better lifetime warranty. I don't really know. Over 40 years of experience. This line and this 5th line, serving your town since whatever it is, 1982. The stats and the studies will show that the amount of years you've been in business is very attractive to customers. Why? Because we all know that some contractors start up a business and say we're amazing, and they're gone in 1 or 2 or 3 years. And so they want some company that's been there for a long time, that they're going to stand behind their work, and they're organized, they have a great reputation, and they're going to be there in the future. Now, some people will put these 40 years of experience. If they do have a newer company and they're starting with 3 people and they each have 13 years of experience, then they're going to put 40 years of experience. Easy and affordable financing. At times, as when I was a contractor, up to 50% of our jobs were sold through financing. So if you're not offering financing, you definitely should. And you should let people know that it's easy to get financing. Trustworthy, experienced team serving your town. I like that, your town, like whatever it is, put the biggest town right here. And then they're like, okay, I get it. This company's been here a long time. That works really well. All right. So we're trying to speak to our ideal customer. Here's to kind of fill in the blanks, an elite local basement waterproofing company. Now the word local communicates that it's not a big box, kind of a, franchise type of a thing. People do like local. Not everyone likes local. Some people like McDonald's does quite the business, right? But because they know it's something they could trust, it's big box. So, see what works for you. And here's their town right away. You know exactly where they are. Okay, they're serving the entire area. This must be a decent sized company. So best in the industry warranties, experienced, licensed, and insured. This could be a selling point for you. Not everybody pulls permits. It kind of depends on where you live. Some companies will do it no matter what. Depends what works for you. Affordable, no money down. This could be really attractive as well. Easy and affordable financing. So here's an example of being real and authentic. Notice there's different color uniforms here. Notice it's not like picture perfect. I think this shot's real. Like this is clearly not stock photos. This company actually, they put new people in a certain color uniform, and it's a big motivation for them to pass their level test so that they can get better. And then here's the credentials. Now they could go find this, but this company's kind of making it easy to say, like, look at all of our great reviews. 4.9 on Bird Eye, like that's awesome. So real authentic pictures. All right, leverage video and multimedia. This is a great example. This gentleman here is very well known in the Atlanta area. And this company, Everdell Waterproofing in Atlanta, works with this person. His name's Dale. And so it's like trust Dale. And so the connection between this person and this company, it's like, okay, I get it. This is a very trustworthy company. He's endorsed by the top home improvement guy in that city. So this is a great video, like a welcome video to put here. I like these. This is an example of social proof. If you're not like all over your customer reviews, you should be, and your whole company should be a company culture of reviews. You just need to be getting reviews, and you try to get them not only on every job, but try to get them on even inspections, try to get them on even non-eligible appointments. Our sales reps used to get, irritated when they're sitting around all day and they finally get a lead and they drive out to the house and they realize it's a hot water tank that's leaking or something like that. Somehow some lead got through the system where it's not something that we could fix. You could take those and spend the extra time with them and then ask them for a review. And it's a way to turn around a negative situation where you could actually provide help to them. That's what we're all about anyway. And then you could help your company by asking for a review. So get your reviews and then put them on your website and build that credibility. And you want to be able to shout to the people, we're proud of our company. We take great pride in the work that we do. We're proud of our reviews. Check them out. You click there and you go right to the original source. So get the fundamentals in place. I like this web form on the homepage, and I like the live chat. Just make it easy for people to be drawn into you. So all right, so this is a legit stat. Now, I'm as cynical as the next person, and I don't believe all the stats, but let me use this as an example. Adding a live chat feature on a website will typically lead to a 20% increase in conversions. Now, this stat is probably, I don't know, e-commerce or other websites in the world. But even if you increased your conversions 5% with live chat, and you, even like 5%, like would you want 5% more leads? I think everyone would say yes. More leads means more sales. You can empower the reps and so on. So definitely you want to consider live chat. All right, so this is great stuff on mobile friendly stuff. I mean, this is just like, these are stats to kind of say like, basically everyone in the universe holds a smartphone in their pocket. Like, I bet you everyone listening to this or watching the video has a cell phone within 3 feet of where they're sitting. So everyone's using them, and they're quicker, they're fast now. I mean, 4 years ago, we were like, I'm sitting here by a desktop, I'll just use my desktop. Now it's just like, wow, a lot of people are just like, they hit the button and then they just tell Google what they want, and then they hear the words. We all seen it, we're driving around, people are doing it on their phone. They're certainly looking at their phone at red lights, but that phone is there. So you want to make sure this mobile phone is going to convert leads. I like this little green bar. This is, if it's a WordPress website, this is a plugin you could put in. Now, because I check these things on a regular basis, some mobile versions have click to call, but it's just not obvious. Like you could hit their company name, or you hit the phone number. You're not sure if it's going to convert or whatever, but eventually, like, it will convert. And then the number shows up on the top, and then you could hit dial or send, and it will dial. Sometimes I do find websites that don't have this click to call feature on their mobile phone. It's pretty common today, but I like making it obvious, and I like just dumbing it down and having a call to action and say, call now, with a picture of the phone, give it a color that stands out, just make it easy. Here's a click to call. Again, internet marketing, very few magic wands. It's 1,000 little things, they all add up. Just paying attention to details. Web speed matters. So let me show you this. So this is like, for our clients, we put them on Google servers. We pay for hosting. It gets backed up daily. The database gets backed up every 4 hours. And the reason why I moved to this, which cost me, some chunk of change, is I wanted our clients' websites to be very, very secure, and I wanted our client websites to be super fast. Like, I have not seen anyone have faster websites anywhere, and I know that means more leads. I know that means more visitors and so on. So this is kind of before and after shot. Now you can type in page speed insights into a browser, and Google provides a free tool, and it will rank both your mobile and desktop speed. It'll even tell you how to fix it. So I would encourage you to check out your web speed. But in this example, I want you to look here. We had a client come on board, and it was taking 7.2 seconds to load their mobile site. And then we reduced it to 2.3. Getting someone that comes on board with Rainmaker at 91 is like extremely rare. Like typically for desktop, it's probably something like between 40 and 65 or 70, and mobile, again, is always going to be slower. So all of our clients mobile is always going to be like 85 or higher, and desktop's going to be 90 or higher. All right, so now we're kind of landing towards the end here. So some quick summaries here. Use authentic team images. Like, don't be, get uniforms for people, and don't be afraid to show like real images of people. It doesn't have to be perfect, but people like the authentic. Add video to your website. Put a welcome video. Make videos for your services. Showcase your reviews on the homepage. Make sure the basics are in order. Phone number in the top right, call to action, web forms. Put live chat in, put your credentials in, make your story believable. Run a web speed test, put Google Page Speed Insights into your browser and drop your domain name in there. Phone number in the top right, web form, credibility. Update the call to action on each page. Ensure you're speaking to your avatar. Yeah, look at your messaging. Like, what are you saying? What are you saying in your pictures, and what are you saying in your words? Think about that. Do you have a coupon somewhere? Some people are just way into coupons. Let them find it. Don't cover your homepage with a big coupon. But for the people that are in coupons, to me, it's like another line in the water. Add live chat, and consider putting a calendar on. But get people to, if you added live chat and you got a bump of 5%, and then you added book online, there's going to be a 10%. I always have a coach for my business. I think having a coach, you get insight. I was talking to him recently, and he said, "Oh yeah, I got my basement fixed recently." I'm like, "Really? Who'd you go with?" And he said, "The company that was easiest to book online. I don't want to talk to anybody." And I said, "Really? Okay, what'd you pay for it?" And he said, something like $8,000 to get his basement fixed. Lives in the city of Chicago. It's like, all right, book online. I get it. All right, that was interesting. So remember, your website is kind of like the middle of your funnel. It's like the storefront of the day, and it's got so much information. So keep that in mind when you think about the importance of your website. So, it'd be really good right now to write down what are 3 things that you'd like to improve on your website. It'd be great to write those down and then to take action. Go to your agency, get those implemented. If you could do it yourself, more power to you, but always try to be improving your website. So write those down and take action. If anyone wants an analysis of their online everything, we're happy to provide that. And I'm going to offer you this as well. If you would like a custom video of me critiquing your website to identify ways to improve conversions, you could put that in your URL in the chat, or you could message me and we would provide you that, and we'd probably provide you a whole bunch of different ways that you can get more leads. Thank you for joining. I hope you learned something. If we could be of help in any way, please let us know.